Hey everybody, Mike Callahan, Inner Child Tribe / 12 Stepology. Wanted to just do a quick podcast on the inner critic today. Um, you know, it's called the inner critic, it's called the inner voice, it's called the inner roommate. I call him the little asshole. Um, it's that piece inside of us that just keeps going on and on and on and doesn't shut up. It will not shut up. And I've learned over the years to pick up tools to kind of shut that down. And part of it's positive dialogue with the loving parent, installing a loving parent inside and firing the inner critic, um, putting a restraining order on the fucking inner critic through the higher power. It sounds crazy because it is. However, it works for me. It's really interesting because we could be, a lot of times the chemicals that are released as a result of the stuff that goes through our head, and it's the negative subconscious. It's just so huge. Um, it actually brings out it actually releases a cortisol and an adrenaline into our system, and we actually almost get addicted to it. A lot of us do until we decide that we don't want that. To have that addiction any longer and become aware of it. And for me, I became aware of that there's a little storyteller, I guess you could call the inner critic the little storyteller also. And the little storyteller always has a story to tell that starts out positive and then jumps negative. It takes us into the past, like, oh, remember that time? It was a great Christmas. And then it sets you up and it's like, remember how you fucked that up and you were kind of an asshole? And you're like, wow. And it goes over and over and over and repunishes us for an action that we would no longer do today because we truly were sorry for it, most of us. Some of us not. Whatever. Um, so shutting down the storyteller, knowing that it's a corrupt story, knowing, if I went into an analytical way of looking at it, shutting the corrupt computer down and rebooting it. And a lot of times I'll do that throughout the day when the storyteller gets the best of me. Um, for the most part, we're not bad people. I like to look at it as something that I started writing about is we're beautiful fucked up men or beautiful fucked up women, and what I mean by that is that we started out in our infancy, and we were beautiful beings, and the shadow hadn't been cast on us yet, which I say the shadow was from generation to generation, and the assholes get casted on us, and you grow up with assholes and you become an asshole is a good metaphor for it. However, to unlearn that and realize that's not who we are, and to be able to go back through meditation and go into that and get in touch with that infant and find out what the love is really about, we can cut through a lot of the bullshit. So for me, I'll do a lot of meditations with that through breath work. Um, and a lot of times I'll just do the 100 breaths or I'll do the 50 breaths where I'm just breathing and I stop it, because a lot of times when we fall into the PTSD, the the adrenaline and the cortisol are so strong it almost cripples us, or it's almost an anxiety that hardly any of us can stand, and we want out of it. And a lot of times, what I'll do is, I shared this in a lot of my podcasts, is that I'll sit with it and I'll shut it down, and I'll take away the story, and I'll take away its future, and I'll take away its past, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking sit with you, and it'll come and it'll hurt, and I'll feel it and I'll breathe through it, and then it dissipates, and there's a peace on the other side of that. Uh, it's amazing how many thought processes go through our brain in a day. Holy God. No wonder we're all fucking crazy on this planet. Um, so to be able to shut that process down, and Eckhart Tolle, he has a lot of good content that helps us get out of that place. Also puts us back into the moment. If you ever listen to him, it's um, he's just got a calm about him that brings a lot of peace and brings us back into the moment and brings us back into who we really are. And help. I listen to the power, and now I'm practicing the power now, and it centers me quite a bit. Um, So the other thing I want to share about stepping out of that inner voice and the inner critic, so we have a lot of tools we can pick up. So we can put down the toxic tools, and we could um, pick up the tools that work for us, and that's getting in the moment. That's going back, and for me, a lot of times, if it continues on, I go, who I am today. Going back, I would have never, I would never would have done what I had done. Number one, and number two, I'm truly sorry for any of the actions that I have done in the past. And there's a saying out there that hurt people, and I was raised in a lot of hurt and a lot of pain and a lot of emotional pain. So that's what I knew when I came out into this world. So hurt people hurt people. However, um, the other part that I love is that recovering people help people out also. And that's the whole piece. Unconditional love breeds unconditional love. And when we heal those hurts within and we do this inner child work, we start to find out what kind of a person that we really are, and that we're not bad people, that we're not assholes, that we really are just beautiful, fucked up human beings trying to figure out how to get back to the beautiful, and that can happen a lot throughout our day. So I'm going to keep putting this crazy shit out there, whether it makes sense to somebody or not. If this helps just one person, then it was a success. I'm going to start putting this on. I already am. I'm doing YouTube and Spotify, and I shut down Blog Talk Radio for right now. I'm not finding any use for the platform with that. However, my new website is up, and that's innerchildtribe.org. Take a peek at it. There's a couple good blogs in there, a good newsletter. Talks a lot about what I'm about. And it's interesting. There's another saying, I've been sober for 35 years, and there's a saying that you can't get there from here. And guess what? We can't. We can't get there from here or here from there. Or that could be backwards. My dyslexic brain's kicking in again. Anyways, there's a good way of life. There's a positive way of life. There's a lot of love. And there's a lot of bullshit we have to walk through to get there. I'm not going to candy coat it for sure. However, if we're willing to do the work and, walk this path, there really is a lot of happiness that will come into our lives. A lot of happiness has come into my life. And, I have a lot of gratitude for my friends, my mentors, the people that I mentor. An absolutely awesome wife, and it's the same thing with us. We have the most functional dysfunctional relationship that there is, and what I mean by that is that it's functional because we realize the dysfunction that we need to work on, and we've learned to love each other on a deeper level, and that's working on ourselves individually. There is a piece of wisdom for you. So anyway, I'm learning to slow myself down when I do these videos. A lot of times I start out quick. You know how the ADD happens. We're just all over the place. And I'm learning to do a little bit of slow down. I'm grateful to be able to put this out there and reach out and help others. And I'm going to go about my day. I want to thank you for listening and have a great day. Namaste.